Today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about Bronze Age and Silver Age comic books. Those are my two favorite time periods in comic book history. Those are the periods that I collect the most books in. There's actually a number of different time periods, and I'll come back and do another video on some of the different time periods within comic book history. Show you some covers, some books from those different time periods. But today we're going to solely focus on Silver Age and the majority of Bronze Age. I'm going to highlight some books, and then I'm going to jump into a little topic on one of the things I like, the variants I like to collect for my collection. So let's jump in. Today I have on some gloves because I don't want to mess up the covers of my books. And so let's just jump in and take a look. So this first book I'm going to show you is a Bronze Age, and this is a Fantastic Four. Pretty nice cover. Now, for those that may not know, I'm going to show you the spine so you can see that. Alright, so the spine is very important for these older books, especially if you wanted to send them off and have them graded. Now, this is for all those that may not know. This is a George Perez cover, Bronze Age. Bronze Age period in comic book history runs from about 1970 to 1980, 86, thereabouts. So that's the time period for Bronze Age, right? So this is a George Perez cover. And even for this book, the colors are still sharp. A grade, my comic book guy inspected this for me, and it came back. He said if I was to get it graded, it probably would come back maybe a non-4 or a non-5, still in good condition. This particular book, I would probably keep it raw. Still a decent book. It has white pages. Pages are still in pretty good condition, right? So this is again a Bronze Age Fantastic Four. This is issue 194, and you have really nice cover there. Hopefully you can see that. So now this next book, let's put this one to the side. This next book is the Defender. This is a Bronze Age Defender. All right, so you can see the Hulk, Doctor Strange, all right? And then you have Nighthawk on the cover as well. Okay. Now, this is issue 41. In good condition. Now, if I was to have this graded, again, my comic book guy thinks that this would come back probably like a what did he say? I think he said like a 9.0. Yeah, between a 9.4, a 9.2 and a 9.4. But at the moment, I'm in no rush to have it graded. I would definitely, if I was to send it off for grading, I would have a press and clean. For those that may not know, you can send your books off and have them pressed, meaning they would clean the book up. There's some techniques they would use to clean the pages, and then they would actually press the book using a heat method to flatten the pages, so that when it goes for grading, it gets a higher grade if it's a press and clean versus just sending the book in by itself. So definitely, something to consider for those that are interested in, sending books off for older books. Older books tend to need a press and clean, because sometimes if they have stains on them, you definitely want to see if you have somebody that's experienced. Like, now, pressing and cleaning, I'll come back and do a video on that, but pressing and cleaning is not something for someone who doesn't know what they're doing, because you could actually ruin your book if you don't know what you're doing. If you're using the wrong tools, you definitely want to make sure that it's somebody, either you know what you're doing, maybe you practice on a couple books before you do your high value books before you do it on, you know, a book that's, you know, really valuable, and you don't want to damage. Silver Age is from 1956 to 1970. So Silver Age is 1956 to 1970. So I'm wearing gloves because it's already it's a really older book. The book does have some wear and tear. So I'm being extra. Here's the book here, so you can see it. Does have a little bit of wear and tear on it. Actually, I believe my comic guy said that there's a small chip out of the back cover, which because of the small chip, it would actually come back a lower grade. But, you know, what do you expect from a book that's, you know, from the 1960s, so 50s? Let me get it out, and then I'll show it to you. There we go. All right, so here's the book. All right, and this is issue 32. All right, now I have 2 copies of this. I have a raw copy, which is the one you're looking at right now, and I have a graded copy. Now, if you notice right here in the corner, you can see a chip that's missing from the back cover. That is the reason why this would come back a low grade. Even on the top corner here, you can see that there's a little piece of the comic book missing. To be expected, again, from a Silver Age book, right? So if I was to hold up the book again, you can kind of see that piece kind of missing. And then even like the little tear at the bottom. Still a really nice book. For a Silver Age book. The staples are still there, so centerfold is intact. The only thing, pages are a little browning, but that's to be expected for the book, and you know the condition that it's in. This is a nice showpiece, right? So I wouldn't send this off for grading. I would just, you know, put it in a display case or have it, you know, just have it around and educate others about the comics. All right. Let's see. Now, one of the topics I want to discuss tonight is a different type of variant. So, as I mentioned, there are books come in different variants, right? So this particular book, bear with me for a second while I get it out. All right, so this is Fantastic Four. All right, so you have the Fantastic Four on the front, and this is issue 266. I'm put my glove back on so I can show it to you. So this is 266. All right. Now, the cool thing about this particular book is this is a Mark Jeweler. So this variant is known as a Mark Jeweler variant. A Mark Jeweler variant. And I'm going to show you what that means. So, a Mark Jeweler variant are hard to come by. And what that means is, I'm going to show you the centerfold. In the center of a Mark Jeweler variant, right? So when they publish these books, they always publish, during this time period, they publish a catalog where you could purchase jewelry. So it could, any type of jewelry, rings, necklace, anything, you know, you could purchase from the comic book. Now, the reason why they did this, the reason why the Mark Jewelers, and actually the Mark Jewelers, if you can find them, because they are, you know, let's see, let's put it there so you can see the order. So that's the order form for the Mark Jeweler, right? So the reason why the Mark Jeweler was an insert for the comic book was because it was they were mainly sold on nearby military bases, and so anyone that was serving in the military, armed forces, could purchase jewelry for their family members and loved ones, and then have that item shipped to their family members. So it was an easy way for service members to be able to order gifts for their family and then ship those gifts to their family members. So they would purchase comic books, and Mark Jeweler variants are very, rare. And so this particular slab, I'm gonna hold it up to a little closer. Right here in the inscription right below the date, it says Mark Jeweler variant. And so a Mark Jeweler, anytime you see a Mark Jeweler variant, that means the value of that particular book could go up a little bit because it's a special book because of the insert. Now, there are different types of Mark Jewelers, right? So this Mark Jeweler was a red catalog, right? So the colors came in red, there's a blue, and then there's a black, right? So the black Mark Jeweler is the exact same insert. The only difference is, instead of them printing a red background, that was black. And so the black insert tend to be more popular or harder to get. Maybe not popular, but it was definitely harder to get. And because it was harder to get, that's what made it so popular. So whenever you come across a comic that has MJ or Mark Jeweler, definitely want to, if you don't have any, you definitely want to maybe consider picking some up, because it's just a unique feature, a unique variant to add to your collection. And if you decide to have them slabbed, they'll actually write on the slab that it's a Mark Jeweler variant. So something cool to know about the comic book. And I'm going to show one more. This is a Marvel Triple Action Fantastic Four, and this actually has the Thing, Dr. Doom, and Silver Surfer on the front. All right, so I'll come back and do another video on Defenders and Fantastic Four and Avengers and how all of those members played a role in comic book, Bronze Age and Silver Age, and how they're connected. All right, so here's the Triple Action. Right, and then so you can see right here in the top corner we have how they highlight the characters that are in the book. Right, and then we'll go take a look at some of the pages. So you can see Dr. Doom and Silver Surfer. These colors are still sharp even for this particular comic book. All right. So again, Bronze Age and Silver Age books are still really good books to have in your collection. And a lot of times, storylines that come out for, if you weren't aware, there's a Dr. Doom movie that they're creating. A lot of the storylines and content that they use for the movies, a lot of times it comes from the Bronze Age and Silver Age storylines, and then they add some new content to those movie titles to help fill in their story. So I hope you learned something from this video. If you have any comments, or if you saw something that was interesting, please leave it in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, we would definitely appreciate you. Subscribe to our channel, share the video with with your friends, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.